Welcome back to my channel, the place where history, metal, and mystery meet in the palm of your hand. Today, we're diving into one of the most beloved series in U.S. coinage, the top 3 Roosevelt dime-era coins. But not just any Roosevelt dimes. Today, it's all about the unusual, the unexpected, and the downright fascinating. Now, Roosevelt dimes might seem pretty ordinary. They're small, silver-colored coins we've all used without a second thought. We're talking hundreds, even thousands of dollars in certain cases. And that's exactly what makes the hunt so thrilling. So, buckle in, grab your magnifying glass, and let's jump into the first coin on our list. A little piece of 1960s coinage history with a twist. 1968 Roosevelt dime coin with mint mark D and fine condition. When you think about the year 1968, a lot might come to mind: music revolutions, space exploration, political changes. But for coin collectors, 1968 was a pivotal year for another reason. It marked the return of mint marks to U.S. coins after a brief absence. Before 1965, coins bore mint marks showing where they were made. But during the mid-60s coin shortage, the mint decided to temporarily remove them to discourage hoarding. By 1968, the practice returned, and with it, we got the 1968 Roosevelt dime with a small but significant D mint mark, indicating production at the Denver Mint. This coin is part of the copper-nickel-clad era of dimes. Before 1965, Roosevelt dimes were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But rising silver prices pushed the mint to switch to a clad composition, outer layers of copper-nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The 1968 D dime, like all clad dimes of its time, weighed about 2.27 grams and measured 17.91 millimeters in diameter. The obverse features the familiar left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, with the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year of mintage. The D mint mark appears just above the date, on the obverse side. What makes the 1968 D Roosevelt dime special in the era coin world are the striking mistakes that occasionally slipped past quality control. The most notable among them is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned with the dies during striking, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing, leaving blank metal space on one side. Collectors especially prize off-center errors that still show the full date and mint mark, as it allows them to be clearly identified. Another sought-after 1968 D dime error is the clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a misfeed of the metal strip during the blank cutting process. But perhaps the most fascinating error for this year is the misplaced mint mark. In 1968, mint marks were still hand-punched into the working dies, which means small variations in their placement occurred naturally. Some dimes show that D tilted, shifted too high, or even partially punched into Roosevelt's neck or collar area. While minor misplacements aren't always worth big money, the more dramatic and unusual the positioning, the higher the collector interest. Mintage for the 1968 D dime was over 480 million, meaning the coin itself isn't rare in standard form. But the errors, especially high-grade examples, can be surprisingly valuable. A common circulated 1968 D dime might be worth face value or slightly above, maybe 50 cents to $1 in fine condition. But an off-center strike with 50% blank space and a fully visible date can easily fetch $50 to $150. Dramatic clipped planchets in high grade can reach similar figures. And if you were lucky enough to find a superbly preserved, well-struck example graded MS-67 or higher, even without an error, you could be looking at a $100 plus coin just for its condition rarity. Collectors value the 1968 D for its place in the timeline of U.S. minting history. It's the first Denver dime in the post-silver era to proudly display its mint mark again, making it a favorite for year sets and mint mark collections. But for era coin hunters, it's the oops moments, the off-center strikes, the odd clips, the misplaced D, that make it exciting. And because this coin is still small and easy to overlook, there's always the dream of finding one in a pocket of loose change, just waiting to surprise you. 1970 Roosevelt dime coin without mint mark and fine condition. Now, if the 1968 D dime represents the return of the mint mark, our second coin tells a completely different story. The 1970 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is one of those intriguing mysteries that gets collectors' pulses racing. Normally, a Roosevelt dime without a mint mark would simply indicate that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. For most of U.S. coin history, Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark at all. That changed in 1980, when the P Mint mark was added to most denominations. So, for a 1970 dime, not having a mint mark wouldn't automatically be unusual, except for the fact that the particular 1970 no mint mark variety we're talking about wasn't made at Philadelphia at all. Instead, it's a mint error tied to San Francisco's production of proof coins. Backstory. In 1970, the San Francisco Mint produced proof sets for collectors, and those proof dimes were supposed to carry the S Mint mark. However, a small number of proof dimes were struck using dies that accidentally lacked the S mark altogether. These error coins made it into sealed proof sets and into the hands of unsuspecting buyers, who only later realized they had something incredibly special. This wasn't a case of simple wear or a faint mark, it was a total absence of the mint mark due to a die preparation oversight. And because the number of these coins is so low, estimates put it at just a few thousand, they've become one of the most sought-after modern proof coin errors in U.S. history. Design-wise, the 1970 dime continued the clad composition, with Sinek's portrait of Roosevelt on the obverse and the reverse featuring a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The inscriptions include United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination, 1 dime. The lack of a mint mark is the only thing that sets this error apart visually, but for collectors, that single missing detail transforms an ordinary coin into a prized rarity. Market value for the 1970 No-S proof dime is substantial. Even in average proof condition, these coins can command $400 to $600. Pristine examples graded PR69 Deep Cameo by major grading services can soar past $2,000 at auction. The combination of a proof finish, a modern date, and a genuine mint error gives this coin a special appeal across different types of collectors, proof set enthusiasts, Roosevelt dime specialists, and mint error hunters alike. Interestingly, this coin's story also serves as a cautionary tale for collectors. Sometimes, the most valuable coins don't shout their rarity. They hide in plain sight, quietly sitting in a sealed set or a coin folder, waiting for someone with a sharp eye to spot what's missing. 1987 Roosevelt dime coin with mint mark D in fine condition. Fast forward to the late 1980s, and we arrive at our third coin, the 1987 D Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it might seem like just another modern dime. But here's the twist, despite being relatively recent, the 1987 D has produced some fascinating error varieties that continue to intrigue collectors. The 1987 D dime was struck at the Denver Mint in enormous numbers, over 754 million pieces. By this time, minting technology had improved dramatically compared to the 1960s, making major errors far less common. However, no system is perfect, and that's where the fun begins. Design-wise, the coin retains all the familiar elements. The obverse shows Roosevelt's left-facing bust with "Liberty" to the left, "In God We Trust" beneath the chin, the date to the lower right, and the small D mint mark just above the date. The reverse maintains the torch, olive branch, and oak branch motif, with the same inscriptions as always. The composition is still copper-nickel clad, with the now standard reeded edge. One of the most notable error types for 1987 D dimes is the double die variety. In a double die, elements of the design appear double due to a misalignment during the die creation process. On 1987 D dimes, doubling has been reported most often in the inscriptions, particularly, "In God We Trust," and the date. While not as dramatic as the famous double dies of earlier decades, strong examples can be highly collectible. Another interesting error is the broadstrike. In a broadstrike error, the coin is struck without the collar that normally holds it in place, allowing the metal to expand outward beyond the normal diameter. This results in a coin that is flatter, larger, and missing its reeded edge. These errors are visually striking and easy to identify, making them favorites for collectors. And then there's the die clash error, when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring faint impressions of one side's design onto the other. 1987 D dimes with noticeable die clash marks offer a fascinating look at the minting process gone wrong, almost like a ghost image embedded in the coin. Value-wise, a standard 1987 D dime in fine condition is worth face value. But errors change everything. A well-defined double die in high grade can bring $50 to $100, while a dramatic broadstrike might go for $25 to $75. Die clash errors vary widely in value depending on visibility and grade, but serious examples can easily reach the $50 range. What makes the 1987 D particularly interesting is that, because it's a relatively modern coin, it challenges the idea that you need to look only at older coins for valuable errors. It reminds collectors that surprises can still be hiding in your everyday change, even coins less than 40 years old.